As each day goes by, we see men looking more and more feminine. I mean, just take a look at this picture of a man from 100 years ago versus a man now. Now, this is purely biological. We have been engineered to look more feminine by this generation, by this society. Whatever you want to call them, the companies, they have engineered us to look more feminine. And I fell into this trap myself growing up in middle school and high school. I looked extremely feminine, which is why I was constantly getting picked on, which is why I never had the respect that I always wanted growing up until I finally decided to change the way I look, to start to look more masculine. And that's when everything changed for me. Most people are just going to tell you to put your shoulders back, have more confidence. However, that doesn't work. Like I said, this is a health issue. This is a biological issue. This video is going to change the way you look forever. It is insanely value packed. Let's get straight into it. The first thing that you're going to want to do is get rid of the skinny fat physique. You see, most men have a belly with low amounts of muscle. And I fell into this trap myself growing up. The best thing that you could do, the first thing that you should do when you have this type of physique is lose the body fat. Even if you have some muscle, the first thing that you want to do if you are over 20% body fat is get down to 10 to 15% body fat. I promise you, this is one of the most important things that a man could do in his lifetime. And it is extremely difficult because most men do not have it, but I promise you, this is one of the most worth it things that you could do in your entire life. So get down to 10-15% body fat, and then you could focus on building the muscle. Most people, what they tell you to do is bulk first, get a lot of muscle, but build a lot of fat as well, and then you could cut down. That is the wrong thing to do because the more body fat you have, the more soft you are going to look, which is what you are trying to avoid if you want to look more masculine. When you cut down your body fat, your jaw becomes more chiseled and your overall body will look a lot better even if you don't have a lot of muscle. Now, after you cut down all the body fat, then you can focus on building the muscle. However, there are certain muscles that you will really want to focus on in order to get that V-taper physique, which is a slim waist but wide shoulders. Here are the muscles that you must truly focus on if you want to look as masculine as possible, because this is the female gaze. This is what women love. Do not listen to all the BS propaganda that came out saying that women like dad bods. I promise you, women are chemically and biologically engineered to like this type of physique more. So here are the muscles that you need to hit. Side delts, do lateral raises. Upper chest, do incline bench. Lats, do lat pull downs. Traps, do shrugs. And abs, do weighted sit-ups. If you focus on these muscles and these exercises, you will start to get that V-taper physique. Also, don't forget to hit legs. But overall, pack on as much muscle as you can. First, lose the fat. And I promise you, this thing will change the way you look for your entire life. This thing changed everything for me. I had no muscle growing up. I started to get muscle, and suddenly girls were becoming more attracted. Suddenly, I was starting to get respect from other men. And suddenly, overall, I just felt better in my daily life. So this is the first thing. However, the second thing is just as important, if not more important, and that is going to be optimizing your testosterone. You've heard it hundreds of times that testosterone is declining 1% every single year, and that is the truth. It is declining, to be exact, I think around 1.2% every single year, which is absolutely horrible. When you strip a man of his testosterone, he becomes useless and he looks more feminine. You have to realize that without testosterone, that is the hormone that makes you look like a man. Without that, you're going to develop in more of a feminine way, which is why so many men have gyno, so many men have fat in the areas that women are supposed to have. The hips, the face, the stomach, the chest, all these areas, you're gaining fat, which is making you look more feminine. So what you want to do is start to optimize your testosterone. Start to fully focus on that. Get it up to at least, honestly, these days it's as low as 300 to 400. Get it up to 600 and then 800 and then 1000 should be your end goal in your life, to get to 1000 nanograms per deciliter of testosterone, because you will instantly feel better, you will instantly pack on more muscle, and you will start to look more manly. The reason why your face becomes more masculine when you increase your testosterone is because you're going to have more bone density and your jaws will have more muscle. When you do not have high testosterone, your bones do not have that thickness that you will get when you have higher testosterone. And also another thing is, when you have higher testosterone, your beard growth comes rapidly. You see, when I was growing up, I struggled to grow a beard for the longest time until I finally started to focus on improving my testosterone. And now, I promise you, it is extremely easy for me to have a beard, for me to have hair growth. When you have less testosterone, you're going to have hair loss, which is why most people these days are balding at a young age because they have low testosterone. And most people have that recessed jawline, have that flappy, soft look, which is what you truly want to avoid because, like I said, it makes you look extremely, extremely feminine. These are generally the only two things that you need to do if you want to look more masculine. Now, if you want to learn how to improve your testosterone, I've made many videos on my channel. Make sure to go and watch those. But I promise you that the way you look truly dictates a lot in this life. If you look feminine, you're never going to get the respect you deserve. You're never going to make the money that you want. You're never going to have the physique you want. You're never going to have the woman that you want. You're never going to have anything that you want. So make sure you truly focus on making yourself look as masculine as possible. Because like I said, this is all a health thing. This is all biological. Men are not supposed to look feminine. They're supposed to look masculine. Make sure to subscribe so I can help you optimize your health. See you.